Hey, I'm John Harris, and welcome to another episode of the Meaning OS movement. Today, it seems like the world is in a total state of chaos. At first glance, it looks like everything is breaking. Burnout, overwhelm, uncertainty. Some accelerating, and others are disengaging. But what if this isn't collapse? What if it's recalibration? We're living through a rebalancing of tension. Too little tension, we get drift. Too much tension, burnout. In the middle is growth, clarity, and meaning. This isn't just a theory, let me tell you. It's a timeline of human evolution. And there are three layers that we want to focus on, and that is execution, meaning, and understanding. The execution era is here now. We need to be on top of what's happening with advancing technologies. AI acceleration, exponential technologies, and constant change. The pressure isn't a lack of opportunity, it's too much. It's always on, 24/7, 365. Constant need to adapt and feeling behind when we're progressing. We've moved into overtension. Most people aren't failing from laziness, they're overwhelmed by velocity. And that is why we developed the Exponential Entrepreneurs Academy. It's all about the exponential technologies, exponential organizations, and exponential entrepreneurs themselves. So it's not just success, it's stability within speed. And the idea that we're looking at is we take systems over hustle, structure over chaos, and sustainability over short bursts. Where in your life are you operating beyond your optimal tension zone? That leads us to the next state of what's coming up. We're hitting a meaning crisis. As robotics and technology start to replace jobs, we're going to be living in a society that's very different. But here's what most people don't see coming. As automation increases, efficiency rises, work reduces, time expands. It is a paradox. More freedom doesn't equal more fulfillment. The meaning crisis era is here, and loss of identity, lack of structure, feeling unanchored. These are all things that we're going to experience more and more as our jobs continue to be taken over by technology. When extra pressure drops, internal alignment must rise. And that is why we developed the Meaning OS movement, to address what's coming up. So rebuilding identity beyond work, designing intentional time. And that's built around contribution, connection, and growth. So let me ask you, if work stopped defining your life, if you weren't defined by your job title, what would define you? And this leads us to an overlapping layer, one that's much deeper. So both of these phases sit on something deeper. And that's the vacuum tension field concept. I've written a book called The Breathing Vacuum on this subject. We don't just experience tension, we exist within it. Order and chaos, challenge and skill, effort and ease. Not a problem to remove, a force to understand and calibrate. Too little challenge, boredom. Too much stress. Just enough is the flow. And that bandwidth is what we're trying to stay within. It's dynamic, it's not stationary, it's not static, so you need to be aware of it consistently. So it applies to everything. I mean, work, relationships, personal growth. There isn't one area in all of existence that doesn't experience tension. Where are you on the tension spectrum right now? So this isn't three ideas that we've gone over. They, in fact, it's one system across time. So the first phase we spoke about was learn to do. So we need to execute in high pressure world in this particular time frame. The next one that's coming up, the next phase will be to learn to live meaningfully without pressure. So one is high pressure, the other one is to live meaningfully without pressure. And the third phase is to learn to understand, to see the system beyond both. Most people get stuck in only one layer. So the true growth equals integration of all three, and it's going to become very obvious as time goes by. Where are you currently focused doing, being, or understanding? The goal is not to eliminate tension. You will always face reality, and things will always be constantly changing. You've got to adapt to that, but you need to keep it within a zone. That is the calibration. It's a dial, not a problem. If overwhelmed, you've got to reduce input, simplify. If drifting, you need to introduce challenge and structure. If aligned, protect that state. That is the status you're after. Meaningful lives in the optimal tension zone. Daily check-in. So this is something you could do. Am I drifting? Am I burning out? Or am I growing? These are things you need to consistently think about, because things impact you constantly. This isn't just about personal growth. It's about human evolution. So from pressure, which is our current status, to meaning, which is going to be impacted shortly more and more, to understanding. The future won't belong to those who avoid tension, but to those who can navigate it intentionally. What would change if you stopped resisting tension and started learning from it? The world isn't breaking, it's recalibrating. And your role is to find your center within it, that band, that optimal bandwidth. So take 60 seconds today and ask yourself, where am I on the tension spectrum? What needs to shift? And obviously you need to create that tension spectrum to understand where you lie within it. We'll catch you in the next episode.